All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Keep you on schedule because you know what? I know everybody here has a head full of really good ideas that they're just going to run back and start executing on because we've been told, we've had it hammered into our heads yesterday and today that we are not just going to decide to do something, we are going to do something. So I don't want to hold off on that anymore. I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker, Kieron Sweeney. I haven't known Kieron that long, but I really hope I get to know him for a lot longer. Kieron comes to us as an introduction from our friend Dan Collison. Those guys go way back, and if you want to hear some fun stories that involve kilts and a Scottish accent, you should hang out with them sometime. It's very fun. They have great things to share. Kieron is here to talk to us today about some of the greatest things that you need to be able to do if you are a seminar leader. You need to be pretty darn good at public speaking, so he's going to help you elevate that. You also need to be pretty good at selling without selling and being able to make emotional connections. And this guy knows how to do it. He can somehow or other get in front of an audience of, 8,000 people and connect with them. He's really comfortable on stage. He's done a lot of TED Talks. I really enjoyed the one he did about financial illiteracy in the school curriculum. This is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. If you're in the financial industry, you probably care a little bit about the fact that there aren't enough people out there that know enough about financial literacy, that feel empowered. We at White Glove are very passionate about that, obviously. We really want to bring that empowerment to adults too, but his message starts with the younger generation as well. And I am so excited to welcome Kieron Sweeney to the stage. Kieron, come on up and tell us what we need to know.
Thank you. I don't need that. I got a lav. Oh. Okay. So how many of you would like to double or triple your revenue in 2020? Raise your hand. All right. Anybody excited about that? Let's do it again. How many of you would love to double or triple your revenue in 2020? Yeah. Oh, that's better. You stood up. That was good. Now, here's another question. How many of you would like to actually work less but earn more? Oh, that's even more exciting, isn't it? Thank you. Well, I'm going to help you do both. First of all, my name is Kieron Sweeney. Welcome to my talk, which is Public Speaking Mastery for Financial Planners. I'm going to give you some little peekaboo insight into how to become a very powerful, effective speaker. If you're going to do a seminar, you want to have the power on stage to motivate and move people into action. Yes or yes? Yes. Thank you. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge everyone for being here. There's a saying that says 80% of success is just what? Thank you. And you showed up. Some people didn't come because the subway broke down or there was some snowflakes, but you showed up. So I want you to congratulate yourself. Everybody put your hands up nice and high like this. Reach around, pat both your neighbors on the back and say, congratulations for being here. Now take your right hand, go like this, say, well done, and say your name. Well done. It's been a real pleasure to be here. I've done a lot of seminars all over the world, and I just want to acknowledge White Glove for doing a very classy event. Yeah. I've been invited to seminars, and they're at some motel. And it's about wealth. It just doesn't seem to jive. So whenever I do a training, this is not a talk, it's called a training. What is it, please? Training. Thank you. I have two rules. The first rule is, don't believe a word I say. Now, why would I say that? Well, a woman in the front row once said, because you're a man. I can only come from my own experience in life. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it true, doesn't make it false. It's just my experience. But the information I'm going to give you today totally transformed my life as a businessman and as a speaker. And if you take the information I teach you today and if you implement it into your business, into your life, it will change your life too. I've helped thousands of people all over the world. So before I go on, would it be okay if I tell you a little bit about me? Yes? Yeah. All right. Wait, I forgot the second rule. First rule is, don't believe a word I say. So I'm going to ask you to be open. The second rule is, how many of you want to get the most out of this next hour? Yes? How many of you want to be able to remember more? Thank you. Does anyone know how to do that? Record or take notes. The secret is involvement, participation. How many of you notice I ask a lot of questions? Thank you. Why do I ask questions? Because questions hook the mind. What do they do? Thank you. They hook the mind. Somebody take your finger, put it up nice and high like this. Follow along with me and say, questions hook the mind. Thank you. So when you're doing a presentation, ask a lot of questions. And it keeps the audience involved and engaged with you. Does that make sense? Excellent. Now, sometimes I'm going to leave the last word off the end of my sentence so your mind fills in the... You guys are good. See, it works, yeah? I'm also going to ask you to repeat things. What am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to repeat things. Why repeat things? Because the more you say things, the more you're going to remember it. The mind remembers what it repeats. And research shows that the more we are involved and repeating, the more we're going to remember. You start to learn things at an accelerated pace. There's an amazing technology called accelerated learning, super learning. They're starting to teach it in the schools now, where having children not sitting at desks, staring at a talking head, but actually participating and learning. And when you learn by doing, you're going to learn a lot faster, and you're going to remember more, and you're going to integrate it at the cellular level. Did you guys know that cells actually think? Your cells remember. And so everything that comes into your brain gets transferred into an emotion, and that emotion is felt at a cellular level. And so when you're speaking in front of clients, you want them to feel what you're speaking about at a cellular level. They have to feel you. Does that make sense? I'm going to teach you how to do it. All right. Now, let me tell you a bit about my story. So I started in business over 30 years ago. And I bought the patent to a ski product. I loved skiing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I found this product. I thought it was really cool. I bought the patent, took it to market. In my first year, I sold over $500,000, selling one product for about 3 or 4 months in the year. The second year, I was going to double that. But we hit a recession. And all of a sudden, my clients weren't paying me, checks were bouncing, and all of a sudden, my business started to spin out of control. And what I learned from that experience was, I haven't got a clue how to run a business. I haven't got a clue how to manage money. And so that set me on a path of learning. And I ran into a man by the name of Bob Proctor. Everybody heard of Bob? Yeah, he lives here in Thornhill, actually. Bob completely shifted my thinking around money and around success. And I started to unwind some old patterns of behavior and started to implement new ways of thinking, new ways of behavior. And all of a sudden, business changed. I then started to go into sales training later on in my career and found out I was pretty good at sales training. And then I got picked up by a large company. The next thing you know, I'm an international platform speaker. I'm training seminars, business seminars all over the world. I've trained over 500,000 people now, and I've sold over $30 million from the stage. Me! Seminars work. Do not do one-to-one selling anymore. It's over. Kaput! And out the door. It doesn't work very well. It's time-consuming. It's draining to drive to a meeting. Da-da-da-da-da. The first thing you want to do is fill a room, speak to a lot of people, qualify the room, find the people that really want to go with you, and then do your one-on-ones. Does that make sense? It's filtering. and you're going to have a lot of success. You will double or triple your revenue in 2020 if you do seminars and if you learn how to speak and communicate to an audience effectively, powerfully, and get them to buy you. You don't have anything to sell. You've heard the concept, sell without selling, right? Don't sell. You're not there to sell. You're there to educate. You're there to get that appointment. That's the goal of a seminar. But you want to communicate in a way that is going to inspire them, to motivate them to work with you. There's lots of choices out there. So the question is, why you? Yeah, exactly. Say that again. Give her a round of applause. The belief that you are worthy and that you are great and that you can impact a life with what you know, with you being the expert and authority. Dan was talking about it yesterday. If you're up here, you're the expert. How many of you really believe you're an expert in financial planning? Raise your hand. Every hand must be up. Come on. Say, I'm an expert. I'm an expert. You may be, how old are you? 29. Company's got 10 million already. That's pretty good, yes? So, you have to believe that you can do it. But he's an expert. He's 29. There was a guy up here the other day, 24. 24. I was still in the pub at 24. That guy that was on stage, what was his name? Brandon? Yeah, Brandon, see? So Brandon has found a company to align with, which is helping him build a business. And at 24, he's doing better than the average financial planner. At 24, that's pretty good. Now, what happens a lot of times in any career is that we reach a certain level and then we get comfortable. Because we get comfortable because we have our home maybe, we've got maybe a nice car now, raising children. And so we don't put enough effort into our business anymore. And so we start to flatten out and plateau. You see these two guys? They're going to kick your ass. Who said that? That's what I want to hear.
I doubt it.
But they're going to kick a lot of people's ass.
Oh, that's not maybe possible.
But what's going to happen is there's a younger generation coming up in financial planning. The market's changing. Is the market changing? Yeah, what's the biggest shift that's about to happen? Wealth transfer to who? Women. Where are the women? All women stand up. This is your time. Come on, say, this is my time. Look at the guys and say, this is my time. Thank you. Give the ladies a round of applause, please. So what I'm going to help you do, doesn't matter if you're young, middle-aged, 10 years from retirement, man, woman, makes no difference. What matters is who you are inside. And your inside, what's inside of you? Character, good. What else?
Passion.
Passion, yes. What else? Beliefs, yes. But what's the one, somebody said it? Heart? Who said heart? You got a heart. And I'm going to teach you, I have a 3-day seminar called Public Speaking Mastery for Financial Planners. And I'm going to teach you how to close with your heart, how to connect with your heart. Because we are emotional beings. And our emotions drive our decision making. It's the limbic part of the brain that makes the decision, that makes the behavior. And so when you work from a place of, I really care about you, and you don't have to even say it, they'll feel it. They will feel you. I run a cool process with everybody. I put a bunch of strangers together, and I have them connect with their heart. You'll do this. When you work with me, you will do this. You will understand the power of how the heart thinks. See, the brain thinks, but the heart thinks better. There's a research institute called the Heart Math Institute, and they talk about the power of the heart. The power and the energy from the heart can be felt 30 feet away. The energy from the brain, 2 inches. There's not much going on up there. And most of us are not reaching our potential because there's files in the subconscious mind that are preventing us from doing what we ought to be doing. Everyone in here can be a multimillionaire. Yes or yes?
Oh, yes.
Missy, that was good. Do not apologize for your attitude. So look, raise your hand if you're earning take-home money. Take-home money. Raise your hand if you're earning over $1 million a year. Take-home money. As a financial planner?
Yes, sir.
As a financial planner or speaker? You did good last year. I remember you telling me. 2 people out of what? 40? Shameful. Hold on. Aren't you supposed to help people retire with millions? Isn't that the objective? Geez, the room went really silent. Don't insult me, Kieron. Okay, raise your hand if you want to earn $1 million a year. Raise your hand. So when I ask you a question and you really want something, don't go like this, because that tells me you're not sure. Raise your hand if you want to earn $1 million a year.
Are you talking after tax or pre-tax?
I qualified it.
I want $1 million after tax.
Yeah, take home. I said take home. Yeah, take home, take home. All right, so raise your hand if you want to make $1 million a year take home. Yes? All right, let's get excited about it, please. Raise your hand if you want to have $1 million a year. Oh, come on, guys, you're dead. Raise your hand if you want to earn $1 million a year. Yes? All right. Geez, get excited. You know, financial planners are really dull people. You got to raise your energy in life. Yes?
Yes.
You got to raise your energy. People will follow you when you inspire them with your energy. They want to follow leaders. Remember the game we played when we were kids? Follow the leader? Do you remember that? Yeah, follow the leader. Why were you following? Why weren't you the leader? Yes? I was always out in front. Follow me! And I still do it today. I want you to follow me. I've been to the promised land. I've sold over 30 million. And that's dollars from the stage. And so I'm going to show you how to sell from the stage. Now, I did it in a very cool way. I actually shocked myself. But it works. And so what I do is I use a specific template. What's it called? Specific template. You listen good. I like it. So I use a template. It's a structure. And here's the really amazing thing about it. This template has been taught to thousands of people. And all of these people go out believing everything we taught them, committing to following this structure and this template, and they double and triple their revenue. You can go to my website, you can see all the testimonials. You will absolutely shock yourself at how easy it is. Now, in business, I mentor people to keep things simple. Keep it easy. I've been watching a lot of slides. When you guys go to a seminar and you're putting a bunch of graphics and linear stuff and all left brain stuff on the PowerPoint, it's not going to land. What's going to land is how you can communicate how your vision and your life and why you're in this business connects with your prospect. Would you agree? And so what I'm going to help you understand is, why do you do what you do? It is important to know that. Why do you do what you do? So let's start with a little bit of structure here. The first thing when you stand on a stage is you come out and you stand in the center and you just take a moment and just connect. Scan the room. And then the next thing you do, who remembers what I did as soon as I finished scanning the room? What was the next thing I did? Forgot already? Thank you. Good job. I asked 3 questions. We call these, please write this down, and every seminar needs to begin this way. Why do you begin the seminar asking questions? Who can tell me? Yep, hook the mind. Good job. What else? Getting them engaged. Thank you. The questions must be linked to the outcome of your talk. What is it you want them to achieve? How many of you want to double and triple your revenue? Yes? How many want to work less but earn more? Yes? Those were the questions. That's what I want to teach you how to do, quickly. The world's changing really fast. 2020 is going to be quite an interesting year. Are you ready for it? Most of you are going to be helping people regain what they lost because there's another correction coming. Yes or yes? Are people positioned properly? Less than 25% of the US and Canadian population has a financial plan. That means 75% of the market is waiting for you to show up. Yeah, they're waiting for you. But they don't know you exist. With all the tools that were presented here with social media marketing and email marketing and promotion and working with white glove, you will reach far more people. And you got to tap into that 75%. They need you. Think of yourself as an educator. We went to school, to university, to learn from academics. True? And then what happened? Send you on your way. Now go figure it out. Thanks for the $50,000 of debt. The U.S. student population right now has over $1.3 trillion in debt in the United States. Okay, you can go now. Go figure it out. Go pay off your debt. Government's going to forgive them. Taxpayer money being wasted again. Yes, I know. Don't get me started. But we have a problem in North America. It's called debt. 65 trillion worldwide. Government debt. Corporate debt, 400 trillion. Yeah, it's a mess. Everybody's just borrowing from each other. But what's happening out there with your potential clients is they're getting themselves into debt. You got to help them get out of debt. And by helping them get out of debt and giving them a proper financial plan, money grows beautifully, doesn't it? We know that. Yes? The power of compound interest is so powerful, most people don't even understand what it is. But you need to help visualize, help them see what it is. So you're going to ask enrolling questions tied to the outcome of your seminar. How many of you want to retire very rich? All right, that's one possible question. How many of you would like to retire with over 7 figures in savings? Raise your hand. How many of you want to retire knowing that you can live the lifestyle that you're currently enjoying today or better? Those are enrolling questions. Of course they want that. Everyone does. They just don't know how to do it. You guys are in the envious position of actually guiding people to success. It's a wonderful place to be. I watched Dan. Dan and I went to school together. We met at university. I saw him start his career and become one of the top financial planners in North America, never mind Canada. So it's not hard to do, but what you have to do is align with somebody who's already been there. I mentor entrepreneurs to create 7-figure businesses because I've done it, so I can mentor them how to do it. I've already cut the path for you. So the speakers here have cut the path. Choose one, go work with them. The course I will talk about later, just briefly I'll talk about it. When you take it, you get 24 CE credits. So I'm doing it January 3rd to 5th. Now the cool thing is it's at the beginning of the year. How many of you are scrambling at the end of the year to get your credits? Yeah, it's no fun, is it? So do it at the beginning of the year. That way you can just focus on managing your clients. So, enrolling questions. Next. Next is connection. What is it, please? Say it nice and loud. Connection. Connect with your audience. I keep finding torn up pieces of money here. As long as the serial number's on it, it's good, right? There it is.
Here's another piece.
There's another piece. Yeah. Don't waste money. It's a great exercise. The way a dollar gets torn up into pieces and shredded because incompetent governments have to pay their debts and they're taxing us. But we don't have to pay as much tax as we're told we have to pay. Right, Dan?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Dan showed me a few tricks. So they're not tricks, they're strategies. But when Frank did this, it's a good visual of how our money that we work so frickin' hard for gets depleted, right? People need to learn how money is taken from them and how they can get it back. And that's your job, right? How many feel good when you leave a client's house? What does it feel like when they say yes? Because you know what? You didn't sell them. You didn't close them. You opened a relationship. It's an opening, not a closing. And so you're beginning a potentially lifelong relationship with this client. Yes? Yes? Yes. And their family. I loved when somebody was talking about the kids. I think it was Jane who mentioned it first. But are we building a relationship with the children in the family? They're going to get the money eventually. Except Dan's kids. So, one of the things I'll do, if you work with me, I've got a whole structure for a kids' money camp. And I would love it if every financial planner did one thing. Take on one youth who's like 15, 16, and mentor them and guide them. And don't just do it for a little bit of time. It's a lifetime commitment. Take one person. Imagine if every financial planner, how many financial planners are in North America? How many? No, it's millions, right? 120 in Canada, so there's 1.2 million in the States. So there's over 1 million financial planners in North America. Imagine if we had one financial planner mentor one young person. Would that make an impact on society? Yes? Now imagine if you guys, every summer, went to the schools and said, I'm going to run some money camps. And you put on a 2-day event. The parents bring the kids. The parents pay, or you do it for free. And you teach young people how to manage money. Would that be effective? Yeah. See, the reason I did a TED Talk is because I was frustrated at the fact that we go through many years of education and we don't even learn how to manage money. You guys do doctors, but they don't know how to manage money. So if we can all make that impact on young people, we're not only helping their parents and adult clients, but you're paving the path for young people to start to understand that I need to understand how to manage money properly, and I need to treat it and respect it. True or true? So, when you connect with your audience, look them in the eyes, talk to them. The wonderful thing I learned about public speaking is it's just a conversation. It's nothing more. And when I was practicing public speaking, I would just sit at the kitchen table and talk to my family. Yeah, that's how I really empowered myself. And so I learned to have a conversation. That's why when I come down from the stage, like Frank did, you come down and you connect with your audience a bit. There was a time when you could actually touch somebody, but you can't do that anymore. But you used to be able to do that, but now you're not allowed to. So, oh well, times are changing. But it's important to really connect with your audience. Does that make sense?
Yes.
No, it makes dollars. So, next one. With your seminar, they have to believe that you have an end goal for them. At the end of your 1-hour talk, what is the end goal for them? They have to be able to believe that you're going to get them to the promised land. And the promised land is financial security. Visions of dreams of holidays, vacationing. I'm buying a property in the Caribbean for my retirement. They have to have visions of what it's going to be like. And your plan is not numbers and figures and strategies. That's your business. That's what you do for them. Their plan is pictures and visions of what life's going to be like in 20, 30, 40 years. The mind understands visuals. A lot of people aren't linear thinkers. So we have to help them see the future and guide them into it. Your job is to do the heavy lifting, all the stuff they don't want to do and don't know how to do. But it's also to give them a vision of what their future can be. And so when you're there in the seminar, ask them questions. What would you like your life to be like at retirement? You can answer. Same as now, which is? Great. More specific? What do you love to do when you're not working? Travel. Okay, he loves to travel. How many want to travel more? Excellent. Dan and I just went to Ireland together. It'll never be the same. We're doing Portugal next year. How many of you, who's got a big vision, a goal for their life? Raise your hand. Yes, sir. What is it? Yeah.
Winters in Florida and elsewhere.
Winters in Florida. Yeah.
15 years from now, golf.
Yeah.
Every day when I feel like it.
Yeah. That's a Canadian experience. That's Canadian for you. Winters in Florida. Who else has a big goal for the retirement? Yes.
So I have a massively transformative purpose to simplify the financial planning process for 1 billion people worldwide.
That's your big retirement goal.
It'll take me through the rest of my life, probably.
Yeah. But that's work.
Not for me.
I know, but.
It's my passion, right?
No, and it's great, and it's wonderful. And if you can create that plan, we need you. But
I never want to retire.
well, no, none of us ever will, but because we're entrepreneurs. But what's one thing that you just want to have for you and your family?
Me personally?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I don't know.
Oh, we need to get clear on that.
I feel like
Are you a guy that just work?
I play a lot too.
You play a lot?
Until what time? 2:30?
Did you go to the secret room? Who went to the secret room? That was fun. That guy was good, wasn't he? I don't know how he did that. That was pretty good.
Flexibility and freedom of time.
Yeah, flexibility, freedom of time. Do what you want when you want. Yes? Do what you want when you want. My goal is to have 4 vacations a year, each of them 3 months long. So, there's 24 of these. I teach them in a way where I'm not actually you're not going to sit there and go through each of them like this. They are learned through a process of doing. So as I teach you to create the most powerful, effective 1 hour or 90-minute presentation that'll make you a rock star in your industry, you will learn all the techniques you need to know. And I'll teach them to you. We do it in 3 days. When you leave, it's done. I'm not going to teach you and say go home and do it, because you're not going to do it, because we're all busy. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do it. We're going to build the talk at the seminar. You're going to bring your material. You'll get to the seminar. I'm going to email you the template, open it up, and boom, we go. And we also put it into action. I'm going to teach you how to model and speak like powerful speakers who have changed the world. When I stood in front of 8,000 people in Singapore, I had a message. That message translated into $2 million in revenue, because I was able to communicate a message of how I can change their business and help them. How many of you, at the core of your heart, at the core of your soul, in your business, all you really, really want to do is help other people? Raise your hand. And that is the core of who you are. If you can put up your hand to that question, it tells you, you know what, I'm doing this because I really want to help people. But maybe I need a little help in how to help more people. Maybe I need to work on some skill sets so that I can communicate my message more. Inside, I can feel it. It's a burning desire. I want to help people. I want to create a book of 200 million. But I need some help getting there. I didn't create the success I created because I learned how to do it myself. I had mentors and coaches. Bob Proctor, Dan Sullivan, Harv Eker. These people taught me. And so I committed to always having a mentor. Every financial planner in this room must have a mentor. It's mandatory. Don't cheap out on yourself. You'll spend the money anyway making mistakes, right, Dan? You'll spend the money making mistakes. How many of you have made a mistake? Yeah, how many of you have made a really bad decision financially in your life? Come on, raise your hand. We all have. Come on. I know it's hard for a financial planner to admit that. But you know what? It's in those failures. It's in those mistakes. It's in the valleys, the peak and the valley. It's in the valley where the lessons are learned. Go out and make mistakes. I have a concept called Ready, Fire, Aim. A lot of people, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to make my presentation. I'm going to work on that PowerPoint. And 6 months later, they're still working on the PowerPoint. Forget the PowerPoint. Just go out and talk. Put a bunch of concepts on paper. Show them how their dollar gets divided up. And without a proper plan, they're going to lose it. Talk about their visions and their dreams. Sit with them. Talk to them. Say, you know what? I really want to help you get there. I want to make you the best version of you. I want to make your family the best version of the family you've always dreamed of having. I don't want you having stress. There's nothing worse than stress and money. True or true? Just checking my time here. So, let's do this. I have a question for you. Why do you do what you do? Who can tell me why they do financial planning for a living? John.
It feels great.
It feels great. And what does feel great feel like?
When you see somebody who, over time, over many, many years, they're actually achieving their goals, you can see.
John and I, we like to hold hands, you know. Come on up on stage. Oh, up there, up there.
You know what?
Yeah, up there, there. You're a speaker now. Give John a round of applause.
I identify as your boyfriend. How's that?
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
Whatever. So, why do you do what you do, John?
I do what I do because I've seen, growing up, I saw what being prudent financially could do for somebody. Then, through my lifetime as a person in the investment industry, I saw the difference. I saw what we could do for people. I saw how we could guide people. I saw how we could help a person who was maybe going off track to identify they were off track before they were too far off track. In other words, to get them to where they want to go. We see people who are well into retirement, have more money than they'll ever have, that they could ever possibly spend. And what they do is we can now guide them how to disperse that money so they're enjoying their legacy while they're actually, before they pass away. And we can help them, we can show them, we can say, this is how much money you can give away or you can give to the children. This is how much, how much, and then also be able to show them how much of a cushion they'll still have in their financial plan or horizon or projection or whatever you want. And at the end of the day, it feels good
It feels good. So why do you do what you do?
because I love what I do,
Why?
because it feels great,
Why? Why does it feel great?
because I help people.
Why?
Why do I want to help people?
Yeah.
Because that's just who I am.
Why are you like that?
I don't know.
I know, we don't know. And see, I was born that way. That was great. Give him a round of applause. Good job. The why you do what you do, I'd love to sit there. It would actually take me a half an hour to really get to why you do what you do. But there's a deeper reason.
I want to rebuild my backyard.
There's a deeper reason. There's a deeper reason in everybody as to why you do what you do. There's a deeper reason why Jason wants to create some mechanism to help 1 billion people with financial plan. There's a reason. We have to become connected at the core of our heart and our soul as to why we do what we do. And when I feel that from you, I'm buying. I'm buying. Because you just told me your most vulnerable part of yourself. And when we can get to that vulnerability stage and admit, you know, we all want to look good and we want to come across as professional. But you know what? You're still at the core. You're still a human being with a heart. And we've got to uncover what that is. And so I'll peel it out of you. So this is one of the processes we're going to do together. It's deep work, but it's effective. When you come out of the seminar, you not only have a talk polished and ready to go, you're going to be a completely different person. You cannot go into my training and come out the same person. It's impossible. You're going to come out alive, vibrating. And so when I go out and do a talk, if I'm speaking in your world, if I'm a professional financial planner and I'm going to go out on a talk, I want you to know that I'm really committed to helping you getting to that promised land. I'm going to take you there, and I'm going to guarantee you get there. Ooh, big word. See, I have a performance guarantee with all my clients. If you don't double and triple your revenue, I continue to work with you because I made a commitment. And when I give my word, contracts, shake my hand. My word is my law. That is all I need. And I will work with you. I'll double and triple your revenue. And I make that commitment. It's publicly announced. It's on the internet. No one else does it. So that's my commitment to you. So why do I train public speakers? Because I had the benefit of learning how to become a powerful speaker, how to have success on the stage, and I was trained by other people. I had a gentleman look at me one day and said, "You know what, Kieron? You're a really nice guy, but you're really boring." And I had to learn how to be unboring. So I have a technique to help you accelerate that. Why did I do a TED Talk? See, we all have lots of whys. I did a TED Talk because I didn't know how to manage money, and I thought it was disgusting that after going through years of education in primary school, high school, then university, and none of us had a clue how to manage money properly. That is failing society. But you guys can change that. Yes or yes? When you're a speaker, you must have a compelling message. Martin Luther King said what? What did he say? I have a dream. And he said it 1,000 times, over and over and over. I have a dream. John F. Kennedy, we too shall go to the moon. And they went to the moon. Richard Nixon, Mr. Gorbachev, take down that, and the wall came down. So we need to drive a message home. What did I say? Oh, Nixon, yeah. Sorry. Thank you for the correction. Your audience will always keep you on your toes. I'm just making sure you guys know history, that's all. Thank you for that. All people who have a why and understand what it is, they think, act, and communicate in a very different way. All leaders, everyone that's built a very successful company, thinks, acts, and communicates in a very different way. They move people into action. They inspire. But they're also doing it because there's something inside them that's burning and paining, then they want it fixed. Yes or yes? Yes. Do you really want to change the financial life of other people? Yeah? Does it make you really excited? Yeah? It's got to turn you on. You know when you meet somebody and there's that connection and there's that vibration goes up?
That's my spouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So when you meet that person and that connection is made, you're vibrating at the same level. That's what we want our clients to feel from us. We want to be in harmony with their vibration. They need to be in harmony with your vibration, but they have to feel that you really want to help them. Does that make sense? Yes. No, it makes what? Dollars, yes. So, I also have decided lately that I'm going to do more in the area of helping uncover and do research in the cause of Alzheimer's. On August 31st, my dad died. He was the caregiver for my mother who has Alzheimer's. So I was then I flew across Canada, had the funeral, and then I was with my mom. And I couldn't leave her alone. And she refused to go into any kind of assisted living. I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. See, when you have Alzheimer's, you don't know you have Alzheimer's. But when you put your clothes in the oven to wash them, something's wrong. And so I had to trick my mom into a care facility. It was the most painful thing I've ever had to do. I left crying like a baby. The guilt. But the Alzheimer's Society and the geriatric psychiatrists were saying, don't feel guilty. You have done the right thing. You've done the best thing for your mom. And so now I've got another why. I've gone to these senior living centers with all these people with Alzheimer's, and they're all just walking around. They don't know where they are, who they are, whatever. They don't know their kids' names anymore. And they're just nothing. And so I want to see a cure. And I know it's coming because I've been doing the research and it's coming, but I want to see it accelerated. So I have another why now. So I have another purpose to give, to take some of my earnings and help a good cause. And so we all have to have something that drives us. Yes or yes? Yes. But we need to know what it is. We all know we have to do it, but a lot of people don't really know what it is. But when you connect with it, it's going to put you in the stratosphere. You'll soar. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you. All right. How many of you figured that when I got up on stage here, I was probably going to try and sell you something? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you thought that. No, you didn't? Good. All right, so I won't. I'm just going to let you buy something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you something. Would it be okay if I just take 2 minutes and offer you an opportunity? Yes? Is that okay? Do I have your permission? Yes. Thank you. All right. So I've taught this all over the world, thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. One of my fun stories as a dentist, dentists aren't usually the most exciting people, but I turned him into a very powerful speaker. He had developed a product that couldn't be sold in Canada. It was a teeth whitening product, but it wasn't allowed to be sold here because it hadn't been approved yet. So he wanted to go sell in Europe. So I trained him, and he became a multimillionaire selling teeth whitening products in Europe. So many people come in, and they want to accelerate their life. You guys have come to White Glove, which is by far the best company to align with in this industry. And they want you to do seminars. I'm going to help you put on a kick butt seminar. And you're going to do it your way. See, I got my style. Frank's got his style. Dan's got his style. Jason's got his style. We want your style. The true, authentic you will come out. And you're going to be amazing at it. So, I charged $19.97 for it. It's 3 days. Again, you'll come out with a very powerful, that's my time is almost up. Ching, ching. Oh, look, more Frank's money. You'll come out with a very powerful talk ready to go. I promise you that. And I've recently come into this industry, helping financial planners. And so what I've decided to do is make a commitment to this industry because I'm not a financial planner, but I understand the importance of it. And I want to help financial planners help more families. So if I can help 1,000 financial planners, I'll help thousands of families indirectly. Good? And so That's what I want to do. So I'm going to give a special. It'll be $9.97 plus HST, which you can claim back. And I'm doing it January 3rd to 5th. And so on the screen is my website, my phone number, my email. If you'd like to register, just text me and email me.
We have to do both?
Either or. Either or. And if you go to affp.ca, you'll see the curriculum, and you'll see the Buy Now button, and you can register. And I welcome you to make a commitment, work on your speaking skills so that 2020, when you go on stage and do 2 seminars a month, you're going to rock it. And these guys will get you. I'll tell you, the hardest part of the seminar industry is filling a room. So I get to come here, and the room's full. They do the same. They do the hard, heavy lifting work. And it's a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of work. Yes?
Where?
Here, Toronto.
Yes, but where?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, I'm looking up, I think somewhere off 427, 407, that area. I like it off I'm thinking maybe Le Jardin and Woodbridge.
Yeah, 407.
Yeah, as long as it's on the highways, it works. It's just easier. And I know a lot of you drove quite far to be here. So I'll give you the location once we secure it. So.
How many people?
Maximum 30. Yeah, maximum 30. It's difficult to work with more than 30 because there's a lot of work to do. And I do bring in an acting coach as well. One of the things that I did was I got an acting coach to help me to be a little bit more fun on stage, and she will come in and work with you as well. All right, so that's it. I think we're done. Thank you for listening.